What's up, Ragin Nation? How's it going? This is Alex Yu, and you're watching Bumblebee's Journey. This is just the web series where we're talking about the Bumblebee solo film in the Transformers Cinematic Universe. This is episode number 24. Wait a minute. I just said that this is another episode of Bumblebee's Journey, but I'm really not going to spend that much time talking about Bumblebee's Journey just because what I'm about to talk about really doesn't have a whole lot to do with Bumblebee's Journey. It has more to do with the future of the Transformers live-action franchise. So I don't really know what to call this episode, so I'm just going to call it Bumblebee's Journey for now. And then we're going to start up a brand new web series. Brand new web series. I think I might as well end Bumblebee's Journey right now in this episode, making this the final episode, because at this point in time, based on what I know, which is very, very little, I think that's pretty much it for Bumblebee's Journey. Let's look forward to the future, because the future holds some pretty intriguing and interesting ideas. Anyways, today is February 16th, 2017, and it is the weekend of Toy Fair. Toy Fair runs over the course of this entire weekend. It's 3 days. I think it might be 4 days. I don't know. But it's New York Toy Fair, one of the biggest trade shows for toys and collectibles, both for kids and adults, like adult collectors. And it's a pretty big day because a lot is happening. And I'm primarily focused on Transformers here, specifically the Transformers franchise, the live-action movie franchise, and we got something to talk about. Today is Friday, and that is sneak preview day. This is preview night, and some people are lucky to see what the convention floor has to offer, the trade show floor has to offer. But not only that, it's also Investors Day. Investors Day for Hasbro. Therefore, potential investors get to see what's going on with Hasbro, such as their annual profits for the last couple of years, as well as what's coming up for the future, so that potential investors would be interested in what they have in store for them, whether it's worth it for them to invest into their brand. So it's a pretty big deal. Obviously, there's some pretty big brands that Hasbro owns. Transformers, Star Wars, G.I. Joe, My Little Pony, and a lot of other brands. But we're here to talk about the movies, so let's talk about the future of the Transformers live-action franchise. Now, the last time we got a big announcement about the Transformers live-action franchise with regards to the future of the films was back in Toy Fair of 2015. That's 3 years ago. 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018. So, yeah, that's 3 years ago. 2017, 2018. 2016, 2017, 2018. We're now in 2018. The last time it was a big announcement, we got this. Transformers Cinematic Universe. Transformers Last Night coming out in summer of 2017. And then Bumblebee coming out in originally it said summer of 2018, but it actually got moved to December of 2018. And then we're also getting a Cybertron prequel, tentatively titled Transformers 1, which is actually going to be written by Gabriel Ferrari and Andrew Cabrera, who wrote... Gabriel Ferrari and Andrew Barrer. They wrote Ant-Man. Anyways, they are the writers for the Cybertron prequel, which is supposedly coming out in 2019. Is that even happening anymore? Because now there is a brand new announcement, and that is this. Hasbro and Paramount, the collaborative efforts of Hasbro and Paramount are no longer interested in focusing entirely on their Transformers brand. Instead, they're more focused on their Hasbro movie brand. Okay? And what does that mean? Well, that means this. Check this out. Of course, we got Transformers Bumblebee coming on December 21st, 2018. But for the future, I don't see anywhere on this image that says anything about a film that's coming out in 2019. Nothing at all. It doesn't say anything about Transformers 6. It doesn't say anything about Transformers 1. It doesn't even say anything about a Cybertron animated prequel or Transformer animated film, CG animated film. It doesn't. 2019 is not in the future of a Hasbro Paramount movie production. Instead, we got G.I. Joe in 2020, Micronauts in 2020, Dungeons & Dragons in 2021, and Paramount/Hasbro event film in 2021. Okay? So 2 films per year starting in 2020 with no mention of anything coming out in 2019. Is the CG animated prequel gone? Is that off the records? Is this off the calendar, the production slate? Is it done for good? I don't even know. I just don't know. But from what it states here, it looks like it is done. That idea is completely done. What has happened in the writer's room all went down to the sewers because of the low box office take for Transformers Last Night. And what Transformers Bumblebee is right there, what is it? It's just a one-off throwaway film. That's what it is. I'm just going to say it right there. It's a throwaway film. The fact that they're not even counting on the success of Bumblebee before they make these announcements already tells me that they're no longer focusing on this continuing this part of the Transformers brand. It feels like the Michael Bay produced Transformers franchise has finally come to an end with Bumblebee, and they scrapped that CG animated prequel idea for good, just because of what's going on right here. Because originally, you know, they weren't interested in doing anything with G.I. Joe. They just want to focus on the Transformers brand. They intend to make it big. They intend to make it continue and go on for it. And they said they had enough stories to last the next 10 years. Where the heck is that? There's no mention of that at all. There's no mention of it continuing. All that they've mentioned here for the investors is that Transformers is not the future of Hasbro and Paramount. It isn't. It really isn't. For the investors, the future of Hasbro and Paramount is all these other brands, which are going to be treated equally. G.I. Joe, Micronauts, Dungeons & Dragons, and whatever the heck this is in 2021. I have a big feeling that it's going to be Transformers. But the reason why they don't want to announce it right now is just because they don't want to jump the gun. They don't want to be so quick to announce this, especially when the film Transformers Bumblebee is kind of like a big question mark. Because let's be completely honest, we don't know what we don't know. I mean, what we have right here, this big question mark, we don't know anything about this. We don't know. I mean, the studios don't know. Paramount doesn't know. But what they do know is that at some point they decided it's going to be a throwaway film. They've already filmed it. They're completely done filming it. They're working on post-production, but they've kind of just given up on following up with it. They've just completely given up with that. So therefore, we don't know what we don't know. And therefore, we don't know what that is going to be. So, with that being said, I've been receiving a lot of tweets, a lot of messages telling me that they're disappointed or freaking out about this reboot. And did anyone say reboots? I don't know if anybody said reboot officially. Did somebody say something like that? Because I didn't hear anything. I didn't read anything. All I saw was this, but it doesn't say anywhere. It doesn't say anywhere at all that it was gonna be a reboot. So no, I am actually not going to sign this petition. I am not going to sign it. So many people have sent me this petition, and you know, I'm not signing it not because of the reason why I don't believe in petitions. I do believe in petitions, but I believe in petitions that matter. I'm not signing it because I don't believe that petitions work. They do work. At least some of them do. I'm not signing this because I don't know what I don't know. I don't know that this is going to be a reboot. I don't know that this film coming out from Hasbro and Paramount in 2021 is even going to be a Transformers film. I just know that 2019 has no Transformers film in its calendar because they would have mentioned it on Hasbro Investors Day. So that in itself is being canceled altogether, which shows me that they have no faith in Bumblebee. The Bumblebee solo film coming on December. So what is this film that's coming out on 2021? Well, let's just say that it is a Transformers film. Can it be a reboot? If it is, I'm not surprised. Why am I not surprised? Because this is exactly what the fans want. the fans want a reboot to happen because they want a brand new vision. They've been wanting this for a while, just because they have Hasbro and Paramount haven't been giving them the film that they want. You know, I'm talking about the masses. I'm talking about the the hardcore Transformers fans that possibly were the ones that actually led the poor box office results for Transformers of last night, because they went to watch Age of Extinction because of the introduction of Dinobots, but they didn't go watch Transformers last night because they decided, you know what? Age of Extinction wasn't great. I'm not going to support this franchise anymore. So because of that, $400 million or a potential $400 to $500 million was just like disappeared just like that. They decided that, we're done with this franchise. It's not going to be good. So they decided not to show up. So let's reboot it. Let's reboot it without Michael Bay anywhere in the credits. And maybe that's what Hasbro is gonna do, because maybe they're actually finally listening to the fans, and maybe that they really should listen to the fans, because you don't want your business to fail. You don't want your franchise to die. This is a great franchise. It's a multi-billion-dollar franchise, and it's going downhill as we speak. So they need to do something about it, all right? And if that means removing Michael Bay, then so be it. But they need to do something about it. Now, I don't even know if this is a Transformers film, so it could be something entirely different, but I feel that they are going to announce what that is after, if Bumblebee is a success. And by success, I mean $300 million plus. If it's $300 million plus, then we got a movie. If it doesn't make those numbers, then they're probably going to make that film, that event film, probably My Little Pony. Okay, so I'm just going to throw it right there. Bumblebee needs to do well for us to see another Transformers film. As for what's going on with the actual story, Quintessa and all that, you know what? A reboot can actually bring Quintessa into the film, into the story, because it took us 5 films to get into the story of Quintessa, to actually get an introduction of Quintessa. If the reboot happens, we could have Quintessa at the beginning of the film. It doesn't really matter what happened previously. We could actually have Quintessa and all this Transformers lore like Unicron and Quintessa and like Alpha Trion and Primus and all that stuff. We could have it right at the beginning of this reboot, because they don't have to. They're not bound by the rules of what they've told in the past stories. You know what I'm saying? So a reboot is a good thing. It's not something that I like, but it's actually a good thing in terms of, like, it's a logical business decision. To make that reset, to press that reset button is actually a good thing. But I like consistency, so therefore I wasn't really interested in it. I wanted to see it continue because they teased us at the end of Transformers last night. But if they're gonna reboot it, then so be it. Reboot it. When I was watching Transformers last night, I was just feeling like, I really don't care. I really don't care what they do with this franchise. Just give us a good movie. Just give us a movie that made me feel excited like I did in the very first film. Bring that back. Bring that magic back. You know what I'm saying? Because I felt that as we progressed through these films, these sequels, the magic was lacking. But don't get me wrong, I'm a loyal fan. I love this franchise. Transformers last night disappointed me, but I still love them in the sense that they provide some really great entertainment, okay? Michael Bay really knows how to bring the rain, bring down the action. So, but it's now time for a new vision, and that reboot in 2021 could be that vision. It's a long time from now. We're not even at summer of 2018. We got 2019, 2020, and then 2021. That's 3 years from now, which means that we're gonna have to wait another 3-year gap, just like how we waited a 3-year gap for Dark in the Moon and Age of Extinction to Transformers last night. That's a 3-year gap. But if it really ends up being a Transformers reboot, then I'm pumped. I'm really pumped, because I want to see brand new ideas. They're not bound by rules. You know what I'm saying? They were bound by rules on what they could do. Even though they could do whatever they want, but they still were bound by a certain set of limitations. Now, with the reboot, if it were actually happening, they can start this film in space. You know what I'm saying? They could start this film in like ancient Rome. They could start this film any time period or any planet. Like they could start it in like a Junkion planet or whatever they want. Who cares? They could do whatever they want. That's why a reboot is a great idea. Because it already showed us that they can really stretch out their imagination as they've done in Transformers Last Night. So very, very cool. And that's how I feel about that. I don't know if it's a reboot, therefore I'm not going to define it as a reboot right now, because we're going to see that announcement much later on. But there you have it. That's all I got to say in this episode. So I'm not going to sign that petition just because I don't know what I don't know, and I don't know if it's an actual reboot. I don't even know if it's an actual Transformers film. It could be a continuation. It really could be a continuation of where we're leaving off. But maybe when it says something like they're actually resetting the franchise, maybe it just means they're changing up all the writers and they're screwing the writer's room. They're just saying bye to the writer's room and doing something entirely different in terms of the people involved in the production, the writing, and the directing. So maybe that's what they mean. But perhaps it really is a continuation. Anyways, that's all I got to say. What do you think about the whole reboot idea? Do you think it's actually happening? I mean, it's only happening if Bumblebee is a success. If it's a success, it means that the fans want to see more, okay? But if it isn't a success, then we're going to get My Little Pony in 2021, okay? Mark my words. Anyways, that's all I got to say in this episode. Thank you so much for watching. This is officially the end of Bumblebee's journey because of what I just saw. Right now, they're not even focusing on Bumblebee's journey. Like I said, it's a throwaway film. They're focusing on the next whatever's coming next, which I don't even know what it is. So there you have it. But don't worry about me. There's going to be more episodes. We're going to talk a lot more about Transformers and the Transformers live action franchise because there's a lot to talk about actually. I'll get into that later on. I actually have this whole the future of my YouTube channel all planned out. But the first thing I got to do right now is continue with the move. We got to make a big change for the Ragin Nation, so that's more important to me than the future of the Transformers live-action franchise, at least for now. Anyways, that's all I got to say. As always, if you enjoyed this episode and you want to see more, hit that like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like me on Facebook, The Ragin Nation, also follow me on Twitter, Ragin Nation. My name is Alex. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Peace.